Hi, everybody. I'm Megan Turnock with Lees & Associates, here with my colleague Patrick Beach, and we're really pleased to be here to present the draft trails plan for Blue River. And we're here today at the public open house, second public open house, to give you an opportunity to provide us feedback, tell us what you think so far. This project's going to be wrapping up soon, so we look forward to your feedback. Before we get too far into it, I'd like to acknowledge that Blue River is within the traditional and unceded territory of the Simpcw First Nation, and we're happy to have been able to prepare this plan within that context. So for this open house, we're going to give you a project overview, show you the goals for the open house, and then present the draft action plan. We're going to wrap up with questions and discussion and next steps. So first, just as a little bit of background in case you haven't participated yet, why are we doing a Trails and Active Transportation Plan? Basically, the goals are to improve the trail experience within Blue River for locals and visitors by enhancing the trail amenities, improving signage and wayfinding, improving connections, and supporting the active transportation network. So active transportation is dealing with non-motorized ways of getting about to get to your daily work, play, school, recreation, and services. We're also looking at improving management and maintenance of trails by phasing in improvements to these systems, finding partnerships, and funding opportunities. And finally, to create a framework for the trail development that considers that there are limited financial resources, and partnerships and volunteer tourism in the community is really important. So the study area is focused on a 7-kilometer radius from the middle of town. That includes, on this map, essentially the boundaries of this map on the slide. We started this project back in March, and we're nearing the end, aiming to present to the Thompson Headwaters Services Committee and in August, and hopefully the plan will be approved at that point. We've gone through a long process working with the Blue River Trails Working Group. We've done stakeholder interviews. We did a desktop review of mapping and GIS data. We've also did a field review in June, visiting Blue River and biking and hiking and driving many of the trails. We also had a public open house and online workshop during the first round of engagement, where we gathered a lot of great information from the community. We worked on the draft master plan in June, brought that back to the working group for feedback, and now it's in the hands of the public for comments. There is a public online survey that's open right now through July 19th, so there's still time to provide us with feedback until that point. The goals of the open house essentially are to present the actions, which are the key basically to the trails plan, and to get feedback on what we did right, what can we improve, and what's missing. Did we miss anything? Perhaps you didn't get a chance to participate the first time around. Now's your chance. So moving forward, the draft plan, the action plan includes a vision, active transportation projects we'll go over. We'll talk about trails classifications, signage and wayfinding, new trail development and reroutes, partnership opportunities, management and maintenance of the trails, and support for ORV initiatives. So here we go, the draft plan. Essentially, the vision for the Blue River Trails and Active Transportation Plan is is a trails network that is cohesive, connected, easy to navigate, and provides high quality trails for a variety of trail activities year round. The Trails Network brings benefits to the community such as improved quality of life, new and diverse economic opportunities, and a sense of community pride. Visitors and new residents are attracted to the community by the trails, the natural beauty of the area, and the lifestyle and experiences that come with it. A safe and connected active transportation network means residents make the most of their daily trips for work, school, services, shopping, and recreation by walking, cycling, and other non-motorized methods. Many of these themes came through the first round of engagement and discussions with the working group, and reflect the diversity of goals and ambitions around the Trails and Active Transportation Network. So first off, I'm just going to give a quick summary of the active transportation projects. The main one is a multi-use path along Highway 5 connecting Blue River to Mud Lake, the Mud Lake Forest Service Road. There are some complexities of installing this multi-use pathway. It's most likely going to go on the east side of the highway, but there's a pinch point at the river, and so there's going to be some coordination, and also coordination with MOTI to make this project happen. There's also a component to extend the Millennium Path to Main Street and perhaps extend it further to the highway as well. And then finally to install highway crossings at Harwood Drive and Angus Horn Street. And those two crossings are underway by MOTI as we speak. To show you on the map, the blue line, the blue dashed line is the connection along the highway here. And the two crossings are marked in green. Next up on the draft action plan is trail classifications. Essentially, a trail use classification system is really essential for a growing trail network that's going to be serving a variety of different activities and also attracting visitors who may not be familiar with the local use patterns or the trail network. Just in terms of figuring out where they want to go and what type of trail they're going to. A second component of this is the trail difficulty rating. So difficulty ratings have become standard. They help communicate to visitors and those who are new to the trail system so that they can better understand what the technical challenges might be, the time required, and any special features that might be on the trail. So with these two components, there's an opportunity to also have these posted on digital trail systems such as Trailforks and Abenza, and to better communicate what the opportunities are in Blue River. The second component, the more physical component, is the signage and wayfinding. So the importance here is to really establish and implement a signage and wayfinding system. Essentially, without the signposts for the trail network, it's difficult for visitors to know where they are, to navigate, and also for the trail network to be promoted by the TNRD to visitors and others. We've done a draft of the proposed signage and wayfinding, and that includes information kiosks, signage at key junctions, directional signage. For example, this way back to town or this way to the next trail segment. Those would be high priority signage that will be implemented in this fall. The next phase might include interpretive panels, which we've highlighted some key areas that are possibilities, and also destination signage that might go along the highway and help people find the trailheads. I'm going to pass it over to Patrick to talk about some of the new trail development projects and reroutes.
Yeah, hi. This is Patrick speaking here. So based on the first round of engagement, input from the working group, and our site visit, we've identified a number of opportunities for new trail development and reroutes of existing trails. The key thing with all of these new trails and reroutes, first off, is to employ best practices for trail layout and construction. This means sustainable layout that minimizes erosion and therefore minimizes the amount of time New River residents and the TNRD need to spend on maintenance. We have proposed a stacked loop system for the Green Mile area, which I'll show you on the map in just a second, with a new designated trailhead. Some realignments to the Lynchhill Trail. And there are a number of flood-prone trail sections within the River, Barbary Falls, Chef Mile, that should be addressed going forward. And there are some existing unsanctioned trails in the Green Mile that can be brought into the official network by working with websites and Trails BC. If we go to the next page, there are a few more actions for trail development and reroutes. Getting the microgrid helicopter skiing trails into the public system through the map, through a partnership agreement, unifying the entrance to Myrtle Lake, and development of mountain bike primary trails in the White River area. You can see that a map. Map is forthcoming from our partner in Canada for the White River.
We lost you there for a second, Patrick. I think you're back. You're muted still, though.
Sorry about that. I was just talking about the Green Mile here. We heard over and over again how wonderful the Green Mile Trail is, and we saw it ourselves firsthand. So we're going to build on that with a series of stacked trail loops, which will give people a number of options for shorter and longer routes, and a designated trailhead in the area, as well as a connection to town. The other main section of newer rerouted trails on the Lynchhill. Again, this is a really compelling section of trail with great views to the river and great views at the top of the hill. But some of the debates make this will make this challenging for some users, challenging for cyclists, and lead to a lot of erosion. So we have a new alignment for the Lynchhill with lower grades. I think it's back over to you, Megan.
Thanks, Patrick. Some of the key partnerships that we've been exploring include, of course, collaboration and consultation with some First Nations is paramount and will be pursued led by the TNRD whenever there's a new trail or trail work being done as needed. We're also looking at partnering with local businesses, and there may be some opportunities to sponsor trails or contribute to trail development and advertising as well. we definitely promote and recommend the continuation of the Trails Working Group. It's been a great push for this project. They've provided a lot of local knowledge of the trail network and how people use the trails right now, and they're going to be paramount, I think, in implementing this plan. Collaboration and coordination with the forestry sector is also very important. A lot of these trails are Forest Service roads and or linked to those roads, and access to trail networks in large part is because those roads are there. So understanding how timing and forestry activities may affect the trail system, planning ahead, understanding where synergies and opportunities might lie is going to be very important in the implementation. And finally, supporting community volunteers. This Trails plan really needs to be driven by the community. I think without that support, it just won't be sustainable. So that's an important component. In terms of management and maintenance, so two of the key things that we found and recommend are just need to work to minimize conflicts between users. We've really heard so far that there isn't a lot of conflict between different trail users at this time. I think primarily because there is not a high level of use on the trail network so far. Mostly locals, some visitors, but as the trail network develops, as it becomes more popular, as it's promoted and more people start using the trails, understanding where those conflicts might be and working to minimize those is important. Some of the components of that are just having the trail classifications, separating some uses, yeah, and also maintenance-wise, establishing a target maintenance level is going to be important because different trails might need different levels of maintenance over time, and having a good plan will ensure that those trails are well maintained to appropriate level. Finally, although this project is not exactly focused on areas outside of Blue River, there were a couple of ORV initiatives that really stood out that we thought should be highlighted. Developing a parking and staging area at Myrtle Road Park is on the docket, and supporting the Powder Packers initiative to build a bridge across the Blue River, connecting the Myrtle Road Park to North Blue Forest Service Road. This would just open up a lot of opportunities for snowmobiling and off-road vehicle activities down the North Blue Forest Service Road. We have also explored the potential for MOTI to have a pilot project for allowing ORVs within the town area. There's potential there, but it's not guaranteed, and there are a lot of details to work out because Blue River is unincorporated. There is no precedent for this recommendation, but there is still potential there. So TNRD and MOTI are working together to see what can be done there. Finally, in terms of implementation, the implementation plan for the final trails plan, pending feedback we get on the draft plan, we'll be setting priorities, identifying costs and partners, who's doing what roles can different people and organizations play. And we'll be looking at resourcing opportunities to fund these projects, ongoing funding, grant funding, and in-kind contributions. At this time, we're going to stop the presentation and go to questions and comments.